Many people we know rush to buy new developments or new launch condos. We often hear about these new launch condos having high take-up rates of 90 to even 100% within the first 1 or 2 weeks, some even 1 or 2 days. But have you worked out the numbers to assess if it is a great investment? Let's find out. Hi, Han here, host of Bite Size Investments, and I share with you tips on how to become financially free. As you all know, many of us live in metropolitan expensive cities where housing is expensive, cities such as San Francisco, Hong Kong, Shanghai, Beijing, and Singapore. Here is a hypothetical but realistic example of how a condo would rent and cost in Singapore. A studio condo will cost about 1.2 mil. It will bring in a monthly rent of about $3,500, and the monthly mortgage payment will be about $4,168 based on a 3.75% interest rates. Okay, hang on a moment. You do realize that the monthly mortgage payment is much higher than the rent, right? You can say that the rent rose crazily during COVID, but so have interest rates and hence the monthly mortgage payments. Look at the example here. Even if rents went up by a whopping $500 per month, it still does not cover the monthly mortgage payment. So what does that mean? The condo is resulting in negative cash flow, meaning that the money does not come into your pocket every month for you to spend. Money goes out from your pocket every month for you to fund the property. Okay, but I know what are some of you guys thinking. The money from your mortgage payment goes to principal and pay down, which increases your equity, right? Sure, that's cool. So when can you enjoy this equity? Only when you sell, right? And when can you sell? 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years? Are you able to keep paying and funding a couple of thousands every month for your property until you sell? Furthermore, is it even guaranteed that your property would have appreciated enough in 5 to 10 years time for you to make the wait worth? Let's take a look at some real data from data.gov.sg. As you can see, the economy moves in cycle. A downturn lasts about 10 years and then there's recovery and growth for the next 10 years. And then another downturn happens. You can watch our summary of the Ray Dalio's Economic Machine video to understand this better. Link is up on the right side. With that said, you can see from the graph that every time there is an economic downturn, property prices in Singapore have dropped and taken 7 to 10 years to recover each time. So what happens if you did not buy your property on the uptrend? You have to hold on to the property for 7, 10 or even more years to wait till it appreciates to the value that makes back all your years of negative cash flow. Is this appreciation guaranteed? No. Do you have the stability in your job to ensure that you can keep funding the mortgage for these 7 to 10 or more years? And lastly, most properties in Singapore are leasehold. Holding on to the property for too long will eat into the remaining lease, which could affect sale price. I also want to emphasize that mortgage expense is only one of the other expenses that you have when you're calculating your rental property investments. There are other fees such as leasing fees, conservancy fees, repairs, your property tax and your insurance. You get the drift, right? There are other expenses that you have to calculate into your returns. So are all rentals bad? No. But I would like to invest in properties that have positive monthly cash flow, no leasehold, and have a track record of decent appreciation over multiple decades. This will give me holding power while I'm getting money every month instead of paying to fund the property, while also enjoying appreciation without needing to worry for leasehold. Sounds too good to be true, right? I currently own 11 properties in the US and I'm doing exactly that. Buying properties that cash flow, that pays for itself, funds for itself, without the stress of a decaying leasehold and having the ability to wait for the appreciation. Houses in the US are priced relatively affordably. Look at the rent listing and the sales listing here below in the same neighborhood. In which country can you find a property that have a monthly rent that is 1% of its purchase price? This translates to a 12% gross yield. In the Singapore example above, with rents at $3,500 per month for a 1.2 million purchase price. That's only a 3.5% gross yield. This high gross yield translates to a much higher income that allows you to pay for all the other expenses and still yet have some cash flow back on hand at the end of the month. You may think that such cheap houses have totally no appreciation and may even be depreciating in price, right? But that's simply not true. These affordable US markets also have decent appreciation, as you can see from the chart here. It has gone up 6.6 times over the years. That's about 3.9% compounded annual growth rate. So let me summarize. When you invest in some of the markets in the US, you actually get cash flow, you get appreciation, and you have no pressure to sell it fast because there's no leasehold on the property. What more can you ask for? I know you may have many questions right now, so leave them down in the comments below. I read all of them and I try my best to answer all of them. And if you have time, check out some of our videos here or here to find out more about US real estate investments. I thank you for your time. Please like and subscribe the channel. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.